mean, that fits my argument where I've argued that family violence is going to be on the increase.
Yeah.
Between kids and parents.
Hey, can you turn her mic on?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, did you give her a headset there, too?
Oh.
Plug the other one.
Sure.
Is that the one?
Sure. Hey, good morning, Dallas Fort Worth. It's JP and Dr. B, and I'll tell you what, we are on point today. We are on fire today. Super excited about everything that we've got going on. We have got none other than the past, I believe, Callie, is that right, welterweight champion?
Yes.
Big Rig Johnny Hendricks. He is, I'm telling you what, I am super excited about this. Well, I will tell you this, I love all the advertisers on your boxing shorts this morning. I am super excited about that. I didn't know you could put Red Bull on your waistband like that. I know, right? Shut the front door. I'll tell you what.
That's too much information.
It may be, right?
Way too much information.
Well, I'll tell you what. We got Big Rig Johnny Hendricks coming on from the UFC. He is going to be fighting in Vegas for the welterweight championship. Can he return to glory? That is the big question. What's really neat is they reached out to us here at On Point and said, hey, we'd love to be on your show. We said we'd love to have you because we have a lot of folks that are on our social media and that listen to us that love UFC, and so it's big business. And so we thought we'd bring them on, and so they've been reaching out to us, and we have reached back, and we're going to have them on at 6:30. So we're pretty darn excited about that stuff. And then we, of course, have my favorite segment of the week, the Hero of the Week, brought to you by Barnes Waste Disposal at barneswds.com. And I just was overwhelmed when we had Danielle on and we talked about what was going on with the Landmark West situation, and she and I connected via a friend, and she told us the story. We went to town. We put our on-point investigator, Callie Robinson, on the job, and our attorney, Justin Nichols, on the job. And we went to town and we found out, you know what, there's a lot of dead fish in the pot on this deal. And we're able to uncover this huge, huge racket between Landmark West, Belfour Construction, and first responders out of Oregon. And in fact, they were looting the things out of these poor folks' apartments and not letting these folks get into their apartments to take care of their animals. So that's how I met Danielle, and I said, hey, Danielle, I said, what else was going on? And she's like, you won't believe this. I was in this vehicle, and the tornado hit us at George Bush and 30, and I was in shock. And then she went to town, and we're going to tell you what going to town means. You know, if there's ever a hero, Danielle is one of my heroes.
She qualifies. She gets the badge for Hero of the Week.
She gets the, well, you know, we did order some Navy SEAL badges. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, she gets the good badge.
She gets the good badge. Where's the drum roll on that there, Sharavius? You fell short on that deal. I mean, come on now. I mean, we're getting her some Navy SEAL badges in here. No drum roll. You're killing me on that. I gave you a second chance at it. I gave you a second. Yeah, well, that Christmas bonus just walked out the back door on that deal. Oops. But so we've got our Hero of the Week, and again, I'm so excited. I think that you're going to be excited. You know, Danielle could have fit a lot of our segments: regular people, or real people, real stories, Hero of the Week. I mean, you name it, she could have filled the bill on that deal.
Absolutely.
And so super excited to have her here today. She is in studio. Good morning, Danielle. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you. Wonderful to be here today.
So have you engaged in a Krispy Kreme donut yet?
I'm looking at them, and I probably will indulge in one or two of them before I leave here.
They talk to you, don't they? I mean, that's crazy.
Hard to resist. Yes.
It's like that carbohydrate says, eat me, eat me. Those donuts.
That's my problem.
Yeah, that's my problem. I tell you what, it's crazy stuff. So, got the Hero of the Week. We replaced our small business segment this morning with Big Rig Johnny Hendricks. And so, Henry's Homemade Ice Cream. Because, and I love Henry's Homemade. Have you ever eaten Henry's Homemade Ice Cream?
I have not, but that's one of the goals for very soon.
Oh, it's in Plano. It's a local place that's been owned. This guy has won national ice cream competitions at Penn State University. Because, you know, Penn State is almost like the home of ice cream. And they have a huge, huge school there for ice cream making and dairy. So, oh gosh, yes. Oh man, it's a meal.
I'm thinking we need to do a remote at Henry's Ice Cream.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. donuts,
and
ice
We
cream.
run a healthy show here.
We promote high nutrition. You didn't know that? You didn't know that, Shravius?
Right.
Well, yeah, we don't talk about that when
Or
he's here.
Brian.
We talk about almonds.
Or Brian Beck,
Yeah,
right?
or Brian Beck, yeah. We don't invite my trainer on the show when we're talking ice cream and donuts. We only do that when we're talking almonds and fresh fruit and vegetables. I'll tell you that for sure. Nonetheless, folks, we've got a great show for you today. We've got our family freebies also, where Dr. B, Callie, if you've noticed, Callie is here on Thursday.
I am.
And so school has changed a little bit and her schedule has changed. And so she is now here on Thursdays. And so now she has to unseat Dr. B, the champion of family freebies. And I think it's going to
Not a
happen.
chance. Not a chance.
I think you're going to.
He is.
Yeah, he's stout. There's no doubt about
You
it.
know what concerns me, Sharavius, is that I'm sitting here between these two, and I notice they keep kind of looking over at my computer. Okay, whoa, what is this?
I want to see what you got.
So yes, we've got an exciting show. You want to stick with us. We're also going to have Lori. The choice is always yours. We are JP and Dr. B on 620 AM KEXP. When we come back, help us celebrate our hero of the week. I need to get focused here.
So, I've got Johnny Big Rig here, but I don't see much about him other than his wins.
What is this commercial?
Pardon?
That sounds like Levine.
Oh my goodness, is that you?
Barbara Villanueva, Catherine
Is that me?
Hartman, Al
Sounded
Square.
like you.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. I was like, wow, you have like a voice twin.
I guess.
What was that
No,
a
that
commercial
wasn't-
for?
It wasn't me.
What was
Couldn't
it?
have been me.
Was it for?
Because the only one I did was for Bridging Hearts.
Hey, who did that? That wasn't
Are
him.
you sure?
Yeah, it wasn't
That
him.
sounded just like
It
him.
sounded like Levine. Hey, did you do this graphic?
Who?
Johnny Hendricks live with On Point?
Me?
You
No,
did
I
that?
did not.
Why haven't you been doing this all along?
I've done it before.
I've never
For
seen
the
that.
Christmas thing. For the Christmas thing, when you wanted people to call in, I made a graphic for that.
What graphic did you make?
You even told me, hey, good job on the graphic.
Well,
Go
where have you
on
been,
Facebook.
Targaryen?
I've been doing
When you
graphics.
think you're busy? I've only seen 2. We should have a graphic daily. We should have a family freebie graphic with families out having fun, lollicking and
Well,
frolicking.
if people would actually do these things that we tell them to do and send us pictures, we could make graphics.
Well, why don't you start telling them to send us pictures then? They don't know. God, you're just a complainer. What's up with this
I'm
year?
not.
Dr. B, I need counseling with Kelly.
I'm thinking that would be an excellent, but I don't know if I have enough time or not.
Dr. B, Dr. B.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
I've never been here on Family Freebies, so I don't know what we've already covered.
It doesn't matter. Just pick
People don't
one.
listen anyway.
Well, no, but I mean, people forget,
Yeah.
after a while. And I think the one I'm doing today is maybe an older one, but it's a place I've been that I like.
Which one are you doing?
No, I can't tell you until.
Well, I
the
want to
time.
make sure I'm not doing the same one.
We've
I've
done.
already got one picked.
We have done the same thing before,
Really?
and not collaborated. Just happened. The stock show is a good one for right now.
I'm doing, this
Oh,
one
hey, by
first.
the way, I've set Luke up to call in. Not today, but I'm going to set him up all next week and the week after to call in on the Fort Worth Stock Show at Rodeo and give us an update and tell us what stalls he's in and invite people to go by and say hi to him in the stalls.
I'm gonna go next Friday, so let me know what stall is in. I'll go by.
Okay.
Say,
He'll have 6 or 8 stalls.
We're going to go to the rodeo at some point when they have another one on a Tuesday.
Is that you?
I love that. I tell you what, I could do that when I was a kid. Man, I could rock it from the Delta to the DMZ as well. I tell you what, I was always so excited about. I love that show. Did you love that movie, there, Sharavius? And?
Yeah.
Who cares? It's something that transcends. Well, that's your fault. Can you believe this, guy?
Well, there are more experiences awaiting Sharavius and no doubt others out there.
This is true. So if you haven't seen Good Morning Vietnam, then you've got to get busy. Get out there and see. You can go to Netflix. I bet it's on Netflix. Oh my goodness gracious! I cannot believe you haven't seen that.
Because I don't know what it is either. I've never seen it.
You know, Dr. B, our show is about being old, and we need to fire these young people. I don't know what's going on over here. Well, folks, thank you for joining us back. We're JP and Dr. B, and we are super excited. We have got Danyelle with us this morning. And Danyelle, let's set the stage, because you are our hero of the week, brought to us by Barnes Waste Disposal. They are big supporters of all veterans and first responders, and they show it through their customer service when you go out and you hire them to come by and take care of all of your trash needs. Barnes Waste Disposal at barneswds.com. So, Danyelle, let's set the stage, okay? It is December 26th, and you are driving back from...
I had a friend that came and helped me put in a washer and dryer, and then we went to go get something to eat. And so on our way to Walmart, we were on the service road of 30 right at George Bush, and we saw in the distance a flash of light, and then we saw a blue flash of light, which was very interesting. And I just made a comment like, wow, that was pretty cool. And my friend said, that's the tornado. And I said, what?
So let me stop.
No
Let me stop you there. Let me stop you there. So we've installed a washer dryer. We're simply going to get something to eat. We're going to run to Walmart. We're not thinking, hey, in about 10 minutes we're going to be stuck in a tornado and oh my goodness.
Right.
So here you see this flash of light and you think, hey, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, that's a tornado. and what, I mean, what is your first reaction to that?
My only reaction is all I could do is just pray. I mean, because there was nowhere to go, because you could just see the mass of this destruction just headed straight for you, and you couldn't do anything but that. And that's exactly what we did.
So you just stopped.
Yeah, we just stopped, and I remember looking up and I saw the bridge of an overpass ahead of us, or on top of us, and I didn't want to go completely underneath it, because my first thought is if it lifts it up and then it falls right on us. So I kind of was adjacent to it, and then I just saw complete darkness, and then you heard the train coming, and then you just felt the car moving all over the place, but it stayed in one position, even though it just felt like it was trying to lift us off the ground. And then stuff started hitting the car, and the windows on my side, they blew out, and I had my head down with my hands over my head, and then I believe that it was a road sign that impelled the car, because it's actually got the back, because I can't think of anything else that would have cut me. I mean, it could have been easily anything. And then I remember it just, and then it stopped, and then it went from one extreme to the next, because after I got up and I got my composure, I looked up and I just saw cars just everywhere.
Well, let me stop you again, Danyelle. So, because I mean, this is something else. I mean, this is not many people we get to talk to that have been in a tornado.
Yes, sir.
And then have lived to talk about it. Doesn't happen very. You see them. You might be on the peripheral, but you were in the tornado when you were parked there and you saw this coming towards you. Mm-hmm. You know, I think you told me last time that you guys couldn't tell where it began and where it stopped.
Right, exactly.
It was just this one big mass, right? Mm-hmm. And so you couldn't even see where there was an ending and a beginning. This thing engulfs you. And did you get to actually eyewitness any of it, or did you just grab your head and pull your head down and hope for the best?
I had my head down the whole time. I felt, just from being a young child, and you do all the child safety things in the school, and you put your head down, and that was just the first thing that I just felt that I needed to protect my head more than anything, and just bend over and just pray.
And pray.
Yes.
And that it has a little bit of a saying to it, Dr. B. We want to stay away from. We're on the radio. We're a clean family show. Yeah, I saw your eyes light up, Dr. B.
Well, I don't know where you were
head
at,
and
but
bend over, right?
Where is this show going?
yeah.
Yeah.
What I was wondering about is, well, first of all, the intelligence to do that and the reaction, just a normal reaction, because with the windows blowing out, the glass could have imploded, I suppose, as well as going out. The car didn't actually move, but did you have any, were you driving or was your friend driving?
I was driving.
And was there any thought when you first saw it about, oh, maybe I can, you hear about people trying to outrun tornadoes, or was it so quick that you couldn't do anything but react?
Exactly. It was so fast, and it was coming so fast that there was just nowhere for us to go. And there were all these cars behind us on the one-way road, so you kind of look over and like, okay, do we go off the grass, but you have no way of knowing which way it's going to go. That's the only problem, and you can't really see it at one point. It was just complete darkness.
And you mentioned, which a lot of people have talked about, I've never been in a tornado. I've seen them, again, as JP said, peripherally maybe, but this, the sound of the train, such loud. Was there then complete silence or not? I've heard that sometimes right after that passes over that it's silent.
Yes, it was complete silence after that.
An eerie silence.
Yes, and then after that, then you just hear people screaming and yelling, and it was just utter chaos at that point.
So the cars that you saw, you said you saw a lot of cars, and as you looked up, were they in front of you or to the side of you? How positioned?
It looked like just mangled cars. I mean, they were just all over. They were on the side. They were upside down. They were just all over because the tornado had physically taken the cars off the highway and thrown them off on the service road down on the grass.
Wow. And what was your next move? Well, one thing you said you were cut. How badly were you injured?
I think the pain, it hurt worse than what it was physically. I didn't feel that I needed to get medical attention. So I just had to bear through it because my first thought is I just got to help these people some way, somehow. And that's exactly what I did. And I told my friend to call 911, and they were just overloaded with calls coming in. And that's when I got out of the car and I was like, I got to go help these people.
Well, I want to stop us there because this is where we change from, hey, we are experiencing the tornado, to what I was talking about, where I just became, that spirit inside of you that fills up, where there's hope for humanity kind of thing, and that's where this comes from. So let me take you back for just a second. So the glass is blown out of the car. The car is impaled by what we think is a road sign. I mean, we have no idea. Mm-hmm. I was telling Callie on the way in this morning that last night I was at a memorial service for a dear friend of mine, and we were talking to one of the brother-in-laws, and he lives in Van Alstyne, and they found remnants of the tornado in his front yard in Van Alstyne.
Wow.
Wow.
Another friend of mine who lives 22 miles away had remnants from the tornado on top of his house and in his front yard. And so this thing wasn't mild. And we're going to, unfortunately, we're going to have a tornado specialist from NOAA come on and talk with us tomorrow or next week. We'll let everybody know. But he was able to tell us what the storm damage was, because we've been out helping people, trying to regain themselves and regain some of their property. And he can tell by the damage and how the wind went and what it was. And he said these were F1s to F3s, and this is the kind of damage they caused. But nonetheless, my point is that you have all these things swirling around you at incredible rates of speed, and so who knows? It may have been a car that tagged you and moved on. But so you sit up, you're looking at the aftermath, and how long did this last? I mean, what are we talking here? Minutes, seconds?
It seemed like hours.
Yeah. Right.
I would bet.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're probably talking what, 30
Probably,
seconds, 10
yeah,
seconds maybe.
Probably 15 seconds.
Yeah, and so all this destruction and all of this pain and death that comes out of this was a matter of 10, 15 seconds. So you sit up, and I'm sure it was just absolutely surreal. I mean, like something you would see in a movie and you go, did this just really happen to me? You were in shock.
Right. It went from I just survived a tornado to now I have to go into nurse mode.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Going, I mean, and it was automatic. So
Just without even thinking.
So you didn't even have, and this is what we're talking about our first responders, folks. These folks don't even start to think for themselves first. Danielle, your first thought was, I got to get out and help people. Did you even do a self-assessment?
Very quick.
If at all. You know, you probably did this, you know, heads, toes, knees. What was that? What was that little game the kids were
Head,
talking?
shoulders, knees, and toes.
Yeah, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and then out the door you went.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty
it's
much.
so when you bring yourself back up and your friend says call 911, and because I think that's what you had told me had happened. Call 911. You hand the phone back to your friend and say you call 911. You look up. What do you see? Like, what is your mind and your eyes? Because that's a whole experience there in a matter of seconds.
Right.
What do you see?
It looked like a war. I mean, it was just mangledness and just people, you know, screaming. You know, I remember one lady, she was yelling, and a man was running down the street saying that his sister was pinned in the car, you know, just screaming for help. And I ran down and I saw this lady that was on the side of the road with her hand behind her head, and she was bleeding really bad. She had a really bad head injury, and she already lost quite a bit of blood. And so I put pressure on her head, and then a fireman shows up from out of nowhere, and then also a nurse. And I told the nurse to go to the car that was in front of us because I saw a man sitting in the car, so I delegated her to go there. And next thing I know, you know, I told him, I said, look, I said, this lady has to go. She's a load and go. She's going to start losing consciousness. He said, well, we're waiting on EMS. And then I heard him triaging colors, which, you know, we know what that means when they do colors. And so next thing I know, they had a medic bag, so we put oxygen on her and started a line on her. And then they took her off. And then I went to go and did a quick assessment on the gentleman in the car, a really quick head to toe, and I felt that he was okay. So at that point I felt, well, they've already pretty much triaged everybody. Instead of me trying to go and try to find who's the worst off, let me just go ask. And so I asked them, where exactly do I need to go from here? And they said, well, go over here because they're still extricating people out. So they'd already taken one man out of the car. This was SUV. You could tell it already had rolled several times. There was a lady in the back seat that we helped get her out. And then we had them laying down next to one another on backboards. And I was trying to console him and give him some sort of comfort. And I said, you know, is this your wife? And he said, no, she was thrown from the car. And my heart just ached for him. So I did a full head to toe assessment actually on both of them, not a quick one. And I just felt led to ask him, I said, have you given your life to Christ? And he said, no, I haven't. And I said, well, do you want to be saved right now?
And I want to stop you there because I want us to save that for after the break. Because this is a big, big moment. This is part of that hero of the week thing that you just don't get. This is that character building. You went to action right away, and it wasn't just, hey, I got to go out and help people. Medically, it's, I've got something to do spiritually here too.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about that. Now, I want to save that for after the break because I want to hear what happened next. And I think our listeners do too. Folks, you're tuned in to KEXB 620 AM with JP and Dr. B, and we have got an amazing hero of the week on today, Danielle, and what she went through. When we come back, we're going to have weather with Callie, and the choice as always is yours with Lori, and we're going to let you know what happened next. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's okay.
That's a big moment.
Yeah.
This is a big moment.
He kept saying 1 minute, and I was like, I gotta hurry and get everything in 1 minute.
I'm gonna bring you back and slow it down.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Great.
I was trying to hurry.
Oh, okay.
Red Cross has some of that.
Mhm.
Jake was jealous of him.
He thought he was coming in,
Mhm.
and I was like, no, he's calling.
If you don't have
Oh,
it,
yeah.
take a picture with your phone. I didn't want to, after I thought about it, I didn't want to send it over the internet.
No, I same thing here.
I thought, with my luck, I'll get hacked. Yeah, I listen to you wholeheartedly. What Dr. B and I were saying is that the Red Cross has some of that already. So my first suggestion to provide you with assistance on that would be to vet all the other organizations out there that deal with first responders and that kind of idea, and let's make sure we can coin something that's different, and then I can tie you in with no problem. Well, I don't know exactly what it is. I just know they have something like that for first responders. So, I'm sure you could. It's about finding a niche, is what it's about. And I will help you, Sharavius. No.
We're not?
Yeah.
Because family freebies we are. We're not doing family 4-pack giveaway. I think that our hero of the week deserves the 2 big segments. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that we're boring our listeners?
No.
Keep it
I would
Spicy.
Well, do you want me to ask her if she was in a bathing suit when she got out there in Vegas? I couldn't wear my clothes. I had to strip
They
them off.
flew off
And they
the
flew
plane.
off of me, and I was out there providing nursing in a bikini with a little hat that's got a red thing on it. You're killing me, Action Jackson.
Well, my shirt was ripped.
Oh, we'll go there.
We'll go there.
My shirt was ripped, and I didn't care if
But
my
it was-
bosom came out.
I
was a-
don't think we should say that.
No, it was the back. Sorry.
We can't say bosom on the air?
Did you get a picture of your car or anything? I mean, afterwards, with where it was impaled and all that. I just so.
Oh, yeah.
And
My
which
phone doesn't take great
She
pictures.
went from,
your friend just
I was in the
remained
middle of
car,
this,
or
to
was he
checking
or she
head,
also
shoulders, knees, and
medically
toes,
trained?
to,
No.
I got to get out here and help people.
I just
So-
kind of took off on my
Hey,
own.
by the way,
and then he came found
You
me
know
like
what
10
I'm
minutes
getting
later.
back from our listeners?
Yeah.
Too many commercials.
I do admire you.
They're like, we don't hear enough of you
In
and
fact,
Dr. B,
I was going
and
to tell
we
you,
hear
come
too
over
many
here so
commercials.
we can touch you. You know, let some of that rub off on. That is
All right.
fantastic.
Stand by.
Here we go.
I just think that's something we can't control, though. Like, that's
No.
inevitable.
You do it in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, heck, you know what? I forgot to send you Lori. Well, welcome back, folks, to JP and Dr. B. We're excited today. I'll tell you what a great day. Well, I get a good feeling, though. See, the last time I sung, you guys gave me a hard time. Are you kidding me? And if I were to sing, I'd grab this microphone and I'd get down. I would get down on my bad self.
Wait a minute,
I gotta see
Sharavius.
this.
You no, and I have seen this. You do not want to repeat this. We don't want this repeated.
I think I had Dr. Bateman in counseling for a couple of weeks after he saw that last time. Not good, Sharavius. You don't want me to grab it. I got new feelings. See, I mean, I get crazy with my bad self.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Danielle. Transition back. Well, folks, this is JP and Dr. B, and we want to get you your weather because it's going to be kind of an interesting weather day today. So, Callie, what is the on-point weather?
It is. We're kind of all over the place today with our weather. 38 this morning, but we're getting warmer as the day goes on. 56 midday, and the lighter. It's a little cooler tonight at 53 degrees. Misty in some places this morning, but we won't see a percentage of rain until about 7 tonight, and even then, it's only about 20% of rain. I'm Callie, your On Point Weather, sponsored by Krispy Kreme in Allen.
Man, only 20% chance of rain, Dr. B. That means we're going to get 100 gallons of it.
Probably.
Yeah.
When they don't predict it is when we get it.
That's exactly right. Well, folks, let me set the stage for you here. We have got Danielle in as our hero of the week. She is a nurse, and I can say registered nurse, correct?
Yes, sir.
Any specialties or just registered nurse?
I do have ER experience. I've also worked on the ambulance.
So
as
we're,
well.
we triage, we're ER, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
And so this was very natural for you then.
It is, but in some aspect, there's sometimes you just can't train for certain things.
Oh, yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not.
this is not natural. This is just a reaction. You
Yeah.
just react to the situation.
So just to bring everybody up to speed, Danielle was going to get, pardon me, she was out, just installed a washer dryer with a friend, was going to get something to eat, Walmart, driving on a bridge saying, ooh, what a pretty light show. And her friend goes, that's a tornado, and stopped the car so they wouldn't get into a situation where maybe the bridge was lifted up and landed on top of them. They survive the tornado in the middle of it, glass breaking out, sign impaling the car. Danielle's grabbing her head and putting between her knees so that she can try to protect her head. Is able to pop up. Her friend says, let's call 911. Danielle does of course, and I make a little bit of light of it because it is nice sometimes to have a little bit of laughter, but does basically the head, shoulders, knees, and toes check, has them all, and immediately says, no, you call 911. I got to go to work. I see people screaming. I see people in pain. I see injuries. And I'm a nurse, and this is what I do. And she jumps out of the car and immediately starts trying to render first aid. A fireman appears out of nowhere. She says, hey, we've got to get this person on their way. And, I mean, the response was immediate without even thinking. She goes out possibly sacrificing her own safety because who knows if she's really injured or not. Because a lot of times our injuries don't come about sometimes until the adrenaline has slowed down. Mm-hmm. And because the adrenaline is an amazing thing. And so she goes out there to start rendering aid immediately. And she comes upon a couple and knows this isn't going to look good. And knows that, you know what, at this point, I don't know that anything medically I'm aware of is going to be able to help. And so what does she do? What'd you do? Tell them what you did.
Well, I felt that he had an internal injury, and because they were so overloaded, you really don't know the severity of the injury until they're actually in the hospital. And so just even getting the ambulance to that area, because everything is so backed up, I really didn't know what was going to happen. And but I just felt led by the Holy Spirit, and then I just asked him if, have you given your life to Christ? And he said no. And then I said, well, would you like to be saved right now? And he said yes. And in that very moment, he gave his life to Christ.
Wow.
Yes, I was actually about a quarter of a mile because the apartment complex where I lived at also got hit, which was on the other side of the highway. And I heard the firemen talking about that as well. And I said, what apartments? And he said, the one over the highway. And I said, oh my gosh, that's mine. And he said, well, right now they need people. He said, there's nothing left. And well, the interesting thing is before I left my apartment, I actually prayed safety over my house because I have 2 cats as well, and I prayed over them. And my apartment, out of all the apartments, was still standing structurally.
Wow. So Danielle, I'm curious. I want to go back to this situation where you ministered not only physically to the gentleman, but spiritually as well. And were you able to be with him until the ambulance came, or what happened with that?
No, at that point, because they already had the firemen there, I felt that he was in good hands. My next focus was getting over to the apartments to see if I could help with rescue efforts, just because I didn't know how bad it was over there, and the way that it sounded pretty extreme.
And were there people at the apartments that were also injured by the time you got there that you were able to assist?
It was so hard because since there was no electricity and it was just complete darkness, it seemed like that there were quite a few firemen that were already there, and the search and rescue team were already in place. So it seemed as though that everybody had been getting out. I did hear that there was 2 people that were stuck that they had to evacuate out, but it took some time. There was one lady in the office and another person that was in an apartment. I think it was like apartment 210 that they were in.
Well, I know that there were people who lost their life in this tornado, and it is tragic. And yet, when you look at the devastation, it's just amazing more people weren't killed,
right,
or seriously injured. And I don't know that I've ever seen a number come out of how many were injured or how many actually died as a result of the tornado, but it's amazing that more didn't die. And fortunately, you were there, or for instance, this one woman you were talking about may have died on the scene, nobody there to help her.
Well, they say that this was an F4, and I believe an F4 can get up to 200 miles an hour. And I know that there are hundreds and hundreds of testimonies out there of all the people that have survived. I mean, I've heard multiple ones, and you know, and I'm humbled that you actually had asked me to come on here, because to me, what I believe a hero is somebody is their heart extending, reaching others. And even after the aftermath, there are so many heroes that have gone out and done so much for their community. I mean, just total complete strangers that have blessed so many people, and they're still helping people to this day.
Absolutely. But your story inspires us, I think, you know, and encourages us that in those times of crisis, because you can't plan a crisis exactly,
No.
you know, the old saying, I can't have another emergency, I've already got too many going on, you know, you can't plan them. But in the midst of crisis, being able to use your training, to use your head, to use your spiritual life to influence and help others is just fantastic. And I can imagine that this is something that this is something you'll never forget, for sure. Let me ask one other question. You know, a lot of times in a situation like that, people will have later nightmares or dreams, the post-traumatic stress. Have you had any of that occur?
I believe the first week was probably the hardest, just because trying to decompress from everything, and my body is trying to just go through that whole process. I am aware that I have been struggling with some PTSD, but knowing that it's okay and that I can get through this, and just knowing that I have prayer and I have a lot of faith, that it's just going to be a temporary thing. It's not going to be forever.
Right, and your faith is going to help you through that, no doubt.
Well, you know, what's exciting, folks, is that we don't just have a single-minded aspect of this. I mean, we
Right.
sat down, we not only helped somebody or attempted to help somebody medically, but you know, what Danielle has not told you, what she has shared with me, is that she has gone through formal training, pastoral training. Is that not correct?
Yes, I graduated in June from the Potter's House School of Ministry, so I am
Yeah.
a licensed minister as well.
Okay.
And so, you know, I think that goes hand in hand. You know, Dr. Clothier and I, and you, Dr. B. and Kelly, have talked about this on the air, that, you know, we're talking women's health right now on Mondays, and where the American Cancer Association and American Medical Association, well, after 54, if they're not doing well, we just write them off. We don't need any more exams. And, you know, Dr. Clothier and I both say, you know, you can't discount prayer and faith.
That's right.
And, you know, if God wants to put his hands on you and heal you, he will. And he does all the time. And so you can't take away from that. And so Danielle has combined both of them. And in this instance, Danielle, who is in shock, don't disregard the fact that she just was inside of a potential F4 tornado, survived it by the hand of God, gets out, starts administering medical aid without even thinking about her own safety, because who knows what she's going to come upon when she's out there trying to help these folks, and then realizes, hey, you know what, I need to ask, you know, are you a Christian? Have you been saved? And immediately goes into her faith-based mode to help him become saved, so that if he does have to go into the Lord at that moment in time, he can. And God will accept him into his gates and receive him as one of his children. And so I don't know how bigger of a hero we can be. You know, Dr. Bean, I'll screw this saying up, so feel free to fix that. I screw every saying up except for mine, which is no taco bueno. But, You know, it's not the times when things are going well that we find out who we are and what our metal is made of. It's when the chips are down and we are in a moment of stress that we find out what we're truly made of. And I think that we've got a hero over here, period.
Yeah.
We absolutely do. And even in the midst of sharing your story, lifting up Christ and talking about Him, I think is imperative. You know, it occurred to me real quick that God had you there for a special reason.
Yeah.
See, if I had been there, I would not have known what to do. But you, with your training, knew exactly what to do.
Well, folks, when we come back, we're going to do family freebies, and the choice, as always, is yours. And we're going to see if Callie has brought her guns loaded. And so we'll find out if she's ready to go. We're 620 KEXB with JP, Dr. B, and Callie. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We need to say something about Big Rig since we've advertised it's been on Facebook.
I'm going to. Don't you worry. I've got this coming.
I'm
Okay.
so irritated.
I've got this one coming.
Like, I texted this girl 2 days ago. And
Well,
she's like,
have you texted her that this morning?
Yes.
No, I mean right now. I mean during
Oh,
the
no.
show. Like, hey, we've been talking about you. We're getting ready to hammer you and support your opponent because
Do you attend Potter's House? Is that where you go?
did you get the email I sent you with Lori?
I like to listen to him.
She doesn't have her headphones on.
Awesome.
Danielle, Action's wanting to talk to you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, he's a bomb. Uh-huh. 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 Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, Devona is on it on this restaurant thing. She said yesterday, she sent a message that said, hey, she goes, I'm hungry after listening to that. I'm gonna go get some Italian food. I said, actually, we really need you to. And I really need you to go tell them that you heard it on JP and Dr. B. She goes, well, I did. I said, yeah, but I need you to tell them. And I said, I had another couple go in, Nick, and tell them. And they said, we don't know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. And he reached out to me pissed. And so I called Tony and I said, hey, I said, what's the deal, man? He goes, I don't know. And I said, they told me they thought the owner was sitting over talking to another man in a booth. This was about 9:30. He goes, you know what? Yeah, I was right there talking in the booth with another man. I said, well, so they asked the waitress, and the waitress told them they didn't know what they were talking about. Inexpensive? Why? You want to advertise?
Dennis goes, perk up,
Okay.
sound
Hey,
tired.
by the way, we have been contacted by Scott Terry and
I was like,
Dalton
do I
Kyle
sound tired?
about advertising
Well, yes,
as well.
somebody-
People are now coming to
I
us.
sound
I'm
tired.
pretty excited about this. So they're wanting to advertise. He's a roofing company.
I like that, but question that I thought I heard you say earlier, I was thinking about something else, I guess, that there's been some complaints about too many commercials.
Yeah.
So how are we going to
Well, you can't do
You
anything
can't
about it. I told
work
Art there's
that
no.
out? But I mean, we don't want to turn people away.
Right.
that-
Well, we're just going to stick to the one read versus everybody
Yeah.
getting a read, you know.
Spread it out once a week even, or
Yeah.
once every 2 or 3 days.
Because that's what that $200 really gets you anyways.
Yeah.
But
Well, they've been getting the bargain. They've been getting to read every day.
Yeah.
right. Right. Well, and I'm gonna. We need to figure something out. Because we definitely have a lot of traction. People are listening, even early. All right, when we come back, we're going to do Lori, then family freebies, and I'm going to hammer Big Rig Johnny Hendricks.
I'm so, like, frustrated.
Jake called him and told him not to call in.
Yeah.
Standing by. Talk this way, walk this way. Oh, yeah, that's right, folks. That is not the original artist. That was JP on the mic. I tell you what, you wanted me to sing. I was inspired. That's right, Rock KEXB. Brian Glenn is saying we're bringing hip back to AM radio, so we're going to definitely get hip on you, that's for sure. Hope I don't have to have that hip replaced after that dance I just did in the studio. I hope not, too. Well, folks, welcome back to JP, Dr. B, and Callie, and we are super excited in our last segment here. We also want to thank Danielle for coming in the studio and being our hero of the week. Danielle, you were just awesome.
Yes, you were.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll tell you what.
Y'all are awesome.
Well, folks, we're going to go now with Lori. The choice, as always, is yours. It's provided to you by All Smiles Dentistry. They have served Allen residents for 15 years and the official team dentist for the Allen Americans hockey team the last 7 years. All Smiles can help you identify and prioritize your dental problems early, maximizing your dental benefit. Call 972-747-1996. That's 972-747-1996. Lori, inspire us. Well, I'll tell you what, she hit right on point for me because, I'm getting ready to not think before I speak, I think. Folks, I am disappointed and sad to report that Johnny Big Rig Hendricks has not called in yet. I don't know. They reached out to us and asked to be on the air. We scheduled them, and they have not called in. You know what we were told? We were told it might be just a little too early. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? I mean, this guy's a professional athlete. How can it just be a little bit too early? So, folks, we aren't going to be able to bring Big Rig Johnny Hendricks on, to our dismay. Maybe we can get him scheduled another day when he's slept in and got enough sleep and he's not too tired.
Don't forget to watch his fight, though, February 6th.
Oh, now let's promote him. Yeah, that'd be great. Let's promote him now. Wow, that's amazing. I'll tell you what, Callie is forgiving, I guess. Maybe I should be more Christian-like and be forgiving. Okay, I forgive you. I'll watch the fight, too. Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Go to a restaurant and watch it.
Go to a restaurant and watch it for free. Yeah, right. I mean, hey. Well, folks, we've got some folks that are out there listening to us this morning, and those people got up early enough with us, and we appreciate that. Dr. Suzanne Jones, Barbara Dutton, Brittany Navarez, Al Squarick, George Elking, also tuned in with us this morning, Craig Perry, Darla Roberson, Catherine Hartman, and our friends down in Austin. Sandy is tuned in with us down there. We've got Kevin down in Liberty Hill who's tuned in. We've got Sarah Bennett. And Sarah, we have to apologize to you because we know you were excited about hearing the interview with Big Rig as you piped in this morning already from Philadelphia, PA.
We're sorry. We were excited too.
I know, right? Very excited. Hey, by the way, just to let you know, we will be covering that. Hey, we're going to be covering that. And they're going to have a Hall of Fame thing. I get to meet my favorites. Like, I can't wait to meet Hulk Hogan.
It's so
real.
real.
And I'm going to cover it. I'm super excited. Like, I'm reaching out for media credentials. I can't wait. So anyways, well, folks, I'll tell you what. I am excited about this, though. Our Family Freebies Duel. Oh, I don't think he's ready.
I'm going to let him go first.
I'm ready.
I don't think he's ready. Not for this. Not today. I got him today. All right, Dr. B, you the man.
All right. Well, my family freebie this week is not 100% free, but it's pretty close.
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
No.
Yeah, I think I can.
The adult is just $4, and child are just $2. But here's the thing. The Dallas Firefighters Museum, located at 3801 Perry Avenue in Dallas, Texas, and the phone number is 214-821-1500. It's one of the best museums in Dallas, from horse-drawn steam pumps dating to 1884 to modern powered equipment. This museum presents a fascinating glimpse into history. The museum houses valuable firefighting equipment and chronicles the history of battling blazes. The facility is also located in a 1907 fire station, which adds a nice note of authenticity. You can spend part of a pleasant afternoon observing displays, and don't forget to check out the souvenir merchandise available. It's located near Fair Park, and visitors can do self-guided tours through it. On most days, visitors will be greeted by retired firefighters who are always friendly and ready to help. And I have been there, and it is a great thing. They still have the brass pole, you know, to slide down. It's just really a cool place.
You know, Sharavius, I think Dr. B wanted to talk the entire segment, so we couldn't get ours out because he's afraid we're getting ready to smash him. Kabam! Yeah, I know, right? Hey, Dr. B, give him that.
Let's hear it.
Give him that phone number and address one more time, because that is really cool. I mean,
It is.
That's a great heritage.
3801 Perry Avenue, Dallas, Texas, 214-821-1500.
All right, so there you go, folks. I'll tell you what, Dr. B, great job. You know, Callie, are you ready over there with yours?
I'm ready.
Ooh, Dr. B, that
for
was a steely-eyed look that just stared you down, buddy.
Well, this is my favorite place in the entire state of Texas. It's the Fort Worth Stockyards. Some of it costs money, some of it doesn't. There's the Cowtown Cattle Drive, the Cowtown Opry, the Championship Rodeo at the Coliseum, and of course, it's the home of Billy Bob's Texas, the world's largest honky tonk. And it's not just a bar. Everyone thinks it's just a bar. It's good for the whole family. Take your kids. It's fun, okay? It's not a place that you're going to see all these crazy things happening, you know? So the Cattle Drive happens daily at 11:30 and at 4. And they say the best place to view it is right in front of the visitor center in front of the Hyatt Hotel. And it's completely free. Just put on your boots, grab your partner, and go watch.
Well, also grab a picnic. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
and actually it is. I mean, I've been out there in the cattle drive. That is something to witness.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
And it's
Absolutely.
right by my favorite restaurant, Risky's Barbecue. So fun.
Now, I
love
didn't
that
add that last week.
It's
I
so
didn't.
fun. It's so good,
But
right?
I'm going to tell you, I think Dr. B keeps his crown. You know, come
Really?
on, Callie, come
Really?
on. I
Well,
mean,
Callie, here's the thing,
Y'all are
Callie.
boring.
No, it was
Y'all are
just
so boring.
you listened to it last week because that's what I did last week.
Are you
yeah,
serious?
serious.
Well, I'm usually not here on Thursday.
You're about, that was about, you know, you get
But
it
we're
for-
glad you did great.
You did great.
I still win in my eyes.
Do you
That's
need some
right.
counseling for that deal?
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking really. Well, folks, here we go. I tell you what, I've got a great time for you this weekend as well. And again, you know, the reason why we do this is we don't want you to have any reason not to get out of your house and go do something fun with your kids. And what I have for you is 3 things today, all of them free. First of all, have you heard of Good Records before?
No.
Um,
Like a good police record?
No,
no,
Good
no.
Records.
Yeah,
The
it
store.
seems like I have.
Yeah, absolutely. They're an old school record shop. They provide live shows all the time. Now, of course, the records aren't free. You got to buy the records.
Right.
But they are right now celebrating their 15th anniversary. And in doing so, they put on free live shows that you can go watch and have a good time, listen to music and get some old vinyl sound. You can find that at 1808 Lower Greenville Avenue in Dallas, and you can call 214-752-4663. That's 214-752-4663. Again, that's Good Records. And it's just a great time. I mean, go sit down with your kids, introduce them to that, which, by the way, is fighting back.
Yes.
That
That's
vinyl
interesting,
culture.
isn't it? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fighting back. And then my other one is going to be, I cannot tell you how much fun I had as a kid playing this, Frisbee golf.
That is fun.
It
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah, they're calling it DG Course, is what they're calling it. It is at BB Owen Park. And if you go online and look this up, they have got the course layout, they've got how it plays. It is a public course, so it does get busy, but it is absolutely free. They say it is one of the best short recreational courses that you can play in Dallas. It's very flat, has straight holes for the most part. You can find it at 10700 Walnut Hill Lane. That's 10700 Walnut Hill Lane. Or you can go on dgcoursereview.com. And again, go out and play Frisbee golf with your kids. It's absolutely free. As a kid, I absolutely loved playing Frisbee golf. And then my last one, and these are all 3 we've not heard on our show before, the Bath House Culture Center at White Rock Lake, Dr. B. And they are having a free exhibit this weekend. Introduce your kids to a picnic lunch You know, go pack yourself a picnic lunch, go to White Rock Lake, and then go over to the Bathhouse. Say that fast 3
Yes.
times. The Bathhouse Culture Center, and meet the artists. Frida Kahlo and Sean Samuel exhibitions will be there. And so join them this weekend on January the 23rd and have a great time, and it's absolutely free. Folks, you've got Brian Glenn and the DFW Business Authority. Not only are we keeping it hip on AM, but Brian is going to continue that hipster movement on AM 620. And Callie says she got something to say.
I'm still caught up on the fact that Dr. B knew I was going to talk about the stockyards, and he was like, "Oh, the stockyards, that's interesting," and he made me embarrass myself on air.
Well,
I
yeah, I know. Oh, well, tune in
I
tomorrow.
win. I still
Folks,
win.
tune in tomorrow. We've got our wacky news. We've got all of our fun cultural good stuff. And we got Justin Nichols coming in to talk about the lawsuit getting filed for the folks. Everybody have a great day.
Have a great day. Goodbye.
All right.
I am not going to be over that anytime soon.
Let's fly out of here.
I didn't know what you were going to do. But
You saw the
added-
iPad.
You had other things that I didn't have. I didn't have
Oh.
Billy Bob's. I didn't talk about the
Oh.
favorite barbecue place.
Do I need to leave this?
Yes. Unless you want a souvenir and, and get arrested.